is for you, and you know who you are or whom you are. It goes without saying, but there's a lot of talk and chatter about Zook Pond. That's what it's called. It's called Zook Pond, Zook, named after John Zook Jr., the man that was murdered, the veteran, the combat veteran who was murdered. I believe it was what, the 82nd Airborne. He was murdered by the Wayne Police Department June 18th of 2024. He was 40 years old, and his daughter witnessed the entire execution. And I saw the video. A lot of people have, and it's that's what it was. It was an execution. Make no mistake about it. That's exactly what it was. And that tragedy, among other things, prompted me to want to spread awareness, want to promote change. And, that was the least I could do, was name it Zook Pond, because I don't want people to forget what the city of Wayne is and what they try to sweep under the rug, what they try to cover up. I don't want people to forget about it. And what happened to John Zook can happen to any of us. It can happen to me. It has happened to me. Well, not the, bullets to the chest yet. Not yet, at least. But, everything but that has happened. Damn near. So I don't want people to forget about it. And, also there's a few other reasons. So, first and foremost, that's my way of giving back to the city of Wayne, is to have this stormwater retention pond, this wetland improvement project. It's there's no reason not to do it, right? And I can also honor a man that I never met, but somebody who served in the same branch of the military, same military branch as I did, and from all accounts, sounded like a great guy and a great father. And it's the least I could do, and I wish I could do more, but I just don't want people to forget about John Zook Jr. I want the name Zook to be remembered in Wayne for all time, I mean, I don't want people to forget about that. And there's other reasons for this pond, right? It's aquatherapy. It's a medical project approved through the VA, sponsored by the VA, vocational rehab, compensated work therapy, and it's prescribed, right? So you got those three things. That's also what the pond is, but there's more than that. That whole entire area my back portion of my property, that whole, it's a wetland, it's a ravine. It's a big giant ravine. The Hunter drain cuts right through. And, it's a stormwater retention pond, right? It's designed really, when I first moved to Wayne, when I first moved to my part of Glenwood, I don't even, I'm the mayor of Glenwood, right? I'm the mayor of Glenwood neighborhood. I don't even want to be the mayor of Wayne, because I want to annex the entire neighborhood of Glenwood. That, is my platform. I don't want to be, but I'm willing to be, to put an end to this madness, right? And Glenwood, that's my first and primary focus, is my neighborhood, Glenwood, and then I would say John Hicks' neighborhood as well. Glenwood, 103 parcels. My life's mission is to get that Glenwood, that entire parcel, from the Dollar Tree down to that jackass's house, Dennis Danielson, who lives on Laurenwood and Glenwood, right? That jackass, the 80-year-old, because he's a Blue Falcon. Just because you served in the military doesn't mean you're an honorable guy, doesn't mean you're a decent guy. It doesn't really mean much of anything. I mean, it could. It's one of many things to consider. Most people, I would say, that are in the military are good, decent, honest people, but there are Blue Falcons. Don't make no mistake about it. And we got the Blue Falcon on the corner, but that whole parcel, or that whole neighborhood, 103 parcels. That's the entire reason, and along with the murder of John Zook Jr. Those are the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. And the other reason with the storm retention is, I moved to Wayne and I see this area, and I go, man, a flash flood could take this whole entire neighborhood out. It's definitely my house, definitely my neighbor's house, but I mean a lot of houses with a flash flood. So my thinking was, well, to reduce the risk of just a devastating flood, I'm going to build this pond, right? This big old pond to retain the water, right? It's not a difficult concept to understand. Why am I putting a pond? Why is all of this over a pond? Well, because they don't want the only body of. So listen, guys, it's very simple. The city of Wayne does not want me to make the first body of water. Okay, listen, the city of Wayne has never had a body of water. Okay, it's never had a pond. It's never had a lake. And for me to be the first game in town, the only game in town, and oh, by the way, I'm naming this pond after the guy that you guys murdered, who you're being sued and hopefully criminally pursued for murdering, John Zook Jr., right? So I mean, that's obviously something that you guys want to sweep under the rug, right? And calling something Zook Pond, well, and then of course we're gonna have a plaque by the front yard there, and it's gonna tell the truth about the city of Wayne and John Zook Jr. and what's transpired, right? And how we got here, right? And what I had to sacrifice, 32, 33 days, or I don't know, I've lost count of my life that I've had to sacrifice for this pond project, right? This Zook Pond. And the fact that it's also a medical device, the fact that it's also a storm water retention project, and it's a wetland improvement project according to the state of Michigan, okay? It's all of these different things. And here I am, May 19th, of course, everybody, listen up. May 19th, of course. Here I am, out in my backyard with my family, being where I'm supposed to be, doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is raising my children, my 3-year-old son. My wife's 4 months pregnant, or at this point, she was 2 months pregnant. We didn't even know she was pregnant, but she was. Thank God she didn't have a miscarriage over the stress of this garbage. But anyways, we're sitting in our yard, just existing, right? Enjoying our property that we pay $9,600 a year to live in. And all of a sudden, here comes the police, here comes the fire department, breaking in the property, breaking in the house, just coming right in, right into my backyard, which is your curtilage, which is no different than the inside of your house, your inner walls. It's no different. Legally, it's the same thing. There is no distinction. The area immediately surrounding your house is your curtilage, right? And here is the state in my backyard just giving me a false dichotomy, citing phantom ordinances, telling me that I'm going to be, something's going to happen to me. I don't know what. I'm going to go to jail. I'm going to be shot. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. And then the officer pushes on me and he assaults me and he batters me and he stalks me in my property. I mean, that's what it was. He's following me in my freaking property, stalking me, literally stalking me. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty fucking crazy over nothing, over a wet pile of smoldering logs, of wet smoldering logs, right? The logs are so wet, they won't even catch fire or they won't stay lit. It rained, I don't know, 2 days prior. And here we are, right? Here we are because someone called or supposedly, which that, of course, was a lie. No neighbor called, no adjacent property called. Somebody who can't see from a public easement into my backyard because my backyard's on this real good slope there, right? Just conveniently for me, right? Not convenient for them, but yeah, you can't see in the backyard from the public easement. So, you're relying on somebody called and then, oh, it was an anonymous call at that. Oh, even better, guys. Even better. It was an anonymous call. Perfect. We'll go with that. Whatever you guys want to go with, we'll go with it. Just make up your minds. Okay. It's an anonymous call, or no, wait a minute. We have the FOIA from Dearborn. It was not an anonymous call. You actually called yourself out to the property. But regardless if you did or not, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter because you illegally searched the property anyways. You illegally seized the property anyways. So even if you had an actual ordinance, which of course you didn't have one, it was a repealed phantom ordinance that you were supposedly trying to enforce, right? I mean, it's the whole thing. It's like I don't know how to say this in a professional legal way, but you're fucked, right? I mean, that's just simple as that. Like lawsuit wise, litigation wise, you're fucked. That's just the bottom line. And so the more that you guys poke at me, the more that I'm just going to go, okay, cool. I got you. Don't worry. I got you, guys. Don't worry. I got you. That's exactly what I'm going to say. And I'm going to keep repeating it in my head and say, you know what? I got you. You guys want to keep these shenanigans going? All right, we can keep it going. It's not a problem. There you go. Going in and out of the video. Like, it's like, you're going to sit there and say that you don't know nothing about me, right? You don't know nothing about me. But yet I've been to, I don't know how many dozen city council meetings have I been to. I don't know how many times. I mean, it's not every day that a pond gets built in the city of Wayne, right? It's a big deal, right? Oh, the city's mad because I told them to go fuck themselves and they're not sponsoring it. And I don't care. And I did want to, include them, but they've proven themselves to be what everybody knows they are, which is scum fuck of the earth. So because they're scum fuck of the earth and they like to, cover up the murder of veterans and, put people in jail for phantom ordinances. Let's just be frank here, right? It's just like morally, I can't accept that. I can't condone that. And so that's why I told them, many, many months ago, I tried to say it nicely to go fuck themselves, but they just can't take that. So then they try to say, oh, well, you gotta get our permission to put this pond, everything's over this pond. And I'm like, I was so glad when they brought it up. I was so glad, right? I was just so glad when they're sitting there on body camera, right? May 19th, right on body camera, guys. Just there it is, talking about the pond. Just talking about the pond. Like they're salivating at the mouth to talk about the pond. And I'm like, it's like, I don't know if you guys want to get sued. Like, I'm not sure what the goal is here. It's kind of fucking, it's like reverse psychology. It kind of fucks with me because you're like, these people can't be this stupid. But then I'm like, no, they really are that stupid. They really, truly are that stupid. Like, it's like it's not even reverse psychology, guys, because reverse psychology is like telling somebody, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And then you do the opposite, right? Well, I'm just telling them what I'm going to do. I'm not like lying to them. It's too hard to keep up with a lie, guys. It's way too hard. I don't make it have I ever misspoke? Have I ever, spoken out of context or gotten some shit mixed up? Sure, everybody does it, but I don't, that's why people are attracted to people like me, right? Is because I just tell it like it is. I don't hold back, and I call it how I sees it, right? That's the best way I can describe it. I just calls it how I sees it, and I don't hold back. I blurt out the answer, right? I don't sit there and, oh yeah, we're gonna be thinking about how we're gonna say it and why we're gonna say it, and it's just like, no, I just say it. I just say what comes to mind. And they fucking hate that, and they hate the fact that, oh wow, he bought this big old piece of property that everybody overlooked, right? Everybody overlooked this property for decades and decades and decades. Right? People used to go hang out there and do their drugs and whatever else over there, right? I mean, the trash that we found, was remarkable. And so, we're sitting in this back portion, we're looking, we're looking at this property. We had it surveyed, and we're looking at the survey, and we're looking at everything, and we're like, man, a pond would be perfect right here. A pond would be perfect. And then after, John Zook Jr., I mean, it was like once that came to be, June 18th, 6 days after my birthday, 4 days before, or was 12 days before my son's birthday. And I'm like, I took offense to that. I took offense to killing a veteran, a disabled veteran who had schizophrenia. I take offense to murdering him in his own property, in his own house, in his own hallway, with his daughter right there, who got to see everything. I mean, it just doesn't, it doesn't resonate with me. It really doesn't, and I took offense to that. I still take offense to it. That shit traumatized me, because when I saw John Zook laying in that hallway dead like that, all bloodied and shot the fuck up, and I saw his 5-year-old daughter, I mean, come on, dude. Come on. I mean, how can that not, as a parent, just offend you? And it's fucked up. And it's fucked up what they're doing to me. And it's fucked up. I met person after person in the Wayne County Jail talking to me about what they've done to people, and how corrupt the city of Wayne, Michigan is, and what they've these pretextual searches and seizures. That was the biggest thing that I uncovered, was how common it is for the city of Wayne to have these pretextual searches and seizures, where they just run up on somebody, frisk them down, and somehow or another that's lawful or that's legal, right? Because they just do what they want, apparently, so they fucking think. And then they started fucking with me, and then they're finding out, like, real quick. I mean, we filed, this is what they did to me, right? They were fucking with me for months and months and months and months and months over this and that. They were fucking with me while I was in jail, man. These people gave me a letter saying I had to take down a sign in my front yard. I got to pay for a permit to have a political sign in my front yard. So you know what I did? You know what the fuck I did, guys? I filed to sue their asses. I took them to federal district court. So now they can explain to a federal fucking judge under oath why they feel that they have the right, or they have the authority, rather, to force you to pay money to speak, right? You have to pay money to have a sign in your yard, okay? Get the fuck out of here. That's my response to that. You know what, guys? You guys created a monster here. This is what you guys created. City of Wayne, because I know you're watching. I know you're listening. You got selective listening, though, of course. You only listen when you want to. You only hear the details that supposedly benefit you. But you guys don't really think shit through too much. But it's going to be real fun. It's going to be real fun for you to have to explain in U.S. District Court why you can't have a sign in your front yard, why you got to pay money. You got to pay money, right? You got to get permission from the man to put a sign in your fucking front yard. How big's my front yard? Well, it's 300 feet, across, right? It's huge. But even my giant ass front yard, nope, gotta give the local government their cheddar cheese, right? No, fuck you. That's my response. I'm done with this taxation without representation. I'm done with this oppressive fucking, it's like a boa constrictor, man. The state attorney's office decided not to Skyhopper. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I just read that. That's horrible. Yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that. I have loss of function in my left hand now. I have loss of function. My left thumb just goes completely numb, and yeah, it's fucked up. And I just said to myself, I had a conversation with God one night, and I said, what's the greatest thing I can do with my life to benefit, humanity, to benefit your children? What's the best thing I can do? And he told me, he said, you guys have to fight. I mean, you have to fight. You have to fight. Say what you want about President Trump, but when President Trump got shot, that motherfucker stood up and said, fight, fight, fight. And, you know, you got to give props for that. And that's a bigger message, right? You know, you got to fight, you know. And so God told me, he said, you know, keep up with your auditing. Don't give up on that, and litigate. Get the truth out there, right? Get the truth out there. Get it into case law. You know, don't accept this bullshit, right? Don't accept this, you know, police brutality and this, what do we call it? What do we call it? I mean, it's just cruelty, and it's fucked up, man. I'm not in, how do I say? I'm not in the best speaking way. I've been kind of dealing with some allergies, and I've been a little sick, you know, and I've been dealing with, you know, obviously May 19th bullshit, right? May 19th. We're only referring to May 19th here, guys. Only May 19th. For any of you listening who have the transcript to this video, May 19th. That is it. So, yeah. You know, it's all over Zook Pond, guys. This is why this is all, you know, it's all over Zook Pond. And I'm glad, you know, I'm ultimately thankful that, you know, I'm ultimately thankful that the city is acknowledging that, and they're continuously bringing it up because they're stupid. They're bringing it up for the wrong reasons. They're bringing it up because they think that somehow it makes me look bad or something. I don't know. But bringing up Zook Pond is actually much in my favor, because that's what all this is over. You know, May 19th, you know, like I said, we're burning some firewood. You know, where'd the firewood come from? Why are we burning firewood? Well, we didn't go out to the store and buy any firewood. We don't have money like that. But we had a bunch of cottonwood trees in our wetland area that we got permission to clear out from the state of Michigan to do a, you know, wetland improvement project, aka Zook Pond. And yeah, you know, we're clearing that out. And, you know, what else are you gonna do with the shit? Oh, this is the city of Wayne. They want you to pay money. Yes, we need more. We need you. Skyhopper, yes. There's such a shortage of good civil rights attorneys. It's sickening. It really is. It's sickening that we have just personal injury lawyers galore. I mean, hundreds of them, right? But civil rights attorneys, maybe you might find one or two good ones in an area. And it's what this country needs. You know, civil rights, constitutional rights, property rights. It's all the same. It's all the same thing. You know, you take away civil rights and you take away property rights, you take away America. And they know that. You know, that's what America is. America historically is property rights, right? You have a piece of land, you have a house, and you have full dominion over that. And obviously, in my case, you know, that's the biggest thing. Like, I can't let May 19th, right? I can't let that incident not be talked about, not be put on the record, right? I just, like, my whole thing with it is, it's like, if I allow these people to get away with May 19th, just warrantless search and seizure, breaking into someone's property. If I allow that, I mean, who am I as a father? Who am I as an American? Who am I as a veteran, right? If I allow that and I don't fight that to the bitter end, who am I as a person? Who am I as an individual? Can I look my creator in the eye and say, you know, you put this curveball in front of me and I faltered. I gave up. You know, I didn't take the last swing at it, right? And I just can't do that. Something in me, it just compels me that I must seek this to the bitter end, because it's good for humanity. It's not just good for me and vindicating myself, and, you know, that's great, right? But I can't let this precedent stand. This type of precedent of, oh, well, we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna ruin your life because you had a bonfire and you were, you know, in your backyard, and then we try to use a repealed Phantom Ordinance to, you know, to get you hemmed up, right? A repealed Phantom Ordinance, good one, guys. Well, like I said, That's highly suspect, and like I said, that will never fly in the end. It might fly right now, or it may have flown, but that's not going to fly forever. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm not sure if there's a God or not. Yeah, there needs to be no qualified immunity. That's first and foremost. Every police officer, every government official should be required to have basically malpractice insurance. And a lot of this shit would end overnight. It would end overnight. Oh yeah, that's the same thing. I agree. All body cameras should run 24/7 with no redaction and broadcasted live. Yeah, I mean, there's an argument to be made about in some particular situations, like personal information. Someone's but that's such a, how do I say, it's such a minuscule amount, or it's such a minuscule part of the job that, yeah, I agree. I mean, I would say broadcasted live, I would say there should be a little buffer, like maybe a 5-second delay or something, but no, they shouldn't even have the ability to, shouldn't have the ability to even, how do I say, to modify them, to stop them, to cover them up. Like, that should be instant termination. Like any other job, right? You're caught on your phone, you're fired, right? Any other job, you're caught on your phone, you're fired. Well, fuck, dude. I mean, if you're covering up your body camera, and especially intentionally, because a lot of them do that. And but the thing is those body cameras are gold, man. See, what's funny about the body cameras, guys, is that they were pushing for them years before they started implementing them. They were pushing them. The police stations, that is. They were saying, oh, we're tired of all these people lying about us. And if we just had these body cameras, oh yeah, no muting, of course. If we just had these body cameras, right, then we would be good to go. We wouldn't have any problems, right? So they started implementing the body cameras, and then as soon as they implemented them, it started hemming the police up on more shit. It started to confirm what normal everyday people were saying, right? Like talking about the police brutality that they had either seen or experienced. And, it was very quickly after that, they started to say, oh, no, we don't want the body cameras no more. They're an invasion of privacy. They're this, they're that. So, I mean, it's very telling that the body cameras are not only necessary, but yeah, they do need to be improved on. I said, the muting of them and being able to redact shit, and yeah, no charges for public information's request. Yeah, that too. Minimal charges, right? Like, I'll file FOIAs, right? And they'll want to try to get hours for redaction. Oh, it's going to cost so many hours to block out this name. It's a joke. It's a scam. I agree with that 100%. There shouldn't be any of that. Shouldn't be any of it. FOIAs should be free. They should be published. They should be readily available. I think FOIAs should be published. I think as soon as because then it would cut back on the cost, right? You wouldn't have to you wouldn't have to keep on making more copies and redoing it. You could just publish it online, or better yet, you just publish everything online anyways. You don't even need the FOIAs. But yeah, FOIAs should definitely be, without a doubt, like $10 max, right? Well, yeah, that too. Yeah, they like to redact shit that they're not supposed to, and I agree, guys. I agree 100%, 1,000%, and that's ultimately why I decided to run for mayor in Wayne, and that's why I'm going to continue to run, just out of principle, because it's like for them, if for these corrupt people, if I were to ever get in a position, I'm that crazy fuck that'll do that. I'm that crazy fuck that'll just be like, hey, look, guys, here's the deal, right? I'll just be like, hey, everything's free. There's a $5 maximum charge for a FOIA, something to cover the cost of paper maybe, but honestly, you don't even need that because everything can be digital. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it should all just be published. I mean, every time someone FOIAs something, it should just be published. Unredacted. Shouldn't be no secrets in government. Shouldn't be. You know, they'll say, oh, well, we got to protect their phone numbers and their emails and, you know, bullshit, dude. Bullshit. There is no privacy anymore, right? They've got your cell phones tapped. They can track your movements. But then we're not allowed to have a publicly available, you know, we pay your taxes, but we're not allowed to FOIA information efficiently and cost effectively. And you know, it should just be published. I mean, digitally. Shouldn't cost. I mean, if somebody wants to pay for a physical copy, okay, a couple bucks, whatever, cover the paper, ink, whatever. But yeah, that should be it. I mean, should be about it. Shouldn't be anything, man. Because yeah, I've noticed that, you know. Yeah, we have created a separate class of citizens. Yeah, super citizens. That's what they are. It's how they act. You know, I mean, when somebody can trespass in your property, you know, just so casually, and just hang out like you invited them there, when clearly, you know, as the interaction is ongoing, you're repeatedly telling them to please get the fuck off my property, and they're just hanging out, chilling, instigating, and it's like, man, I mean, that type of power is really, I can see why people don't want to lose that type of power. And I can see why they fight so adamantly to keep it, because, you know, that's got to be a hell of a high, man. I mean, that's got to be a hell of a drug to sit there and, you know, just literally break into somebody's house, to just literally, you know, like, just break into someone's house, hang out, how you doing, you know, and not have to face any real consequence. So not even have to worry about facing a consequence, right? Like, you break in a house, you're probably doing at least 2-3 months in the county jail, you know, $10,000 in fees and fines and time off of work. And I mean, oh my God, it never ends, right? It never ends. They just pile it on you. Normal people just get 12 inches of shaft, right? Just forearm, elbow deep into the ass, right? That's what they get. And then they can just, like, yeah, they're super citizens. They walk around, they do whatever they want. The Constitution doesn't apply to me, rules for thee, but not for me. I mean, it's just, it's fucking sick, man. It's sick. You know, and they think that I'm just going to roll over and, you know, I'm like, no. We have four, count them. I can't even count that high. 4 warrantless searches and seizures. You know, 3 within the span of 8 weeks. 8 weeks. So I'm like, man, that's pretty hard to explain over a smoldering pile of firewood for whatever you're claiming. I don't care what you're burning. I mean, dude, it's a joke. And then they approve the fire pit, right? That's just what makes it even worse, right? Is there's this thing called certificate of occupancy. Everybody in the city who wants to sell a house must have one. And so they inspected the house when the house was built, and they inspected it before it was sold. I don't know, a half a dozen or so inspections, one from the fire department, one from the building and engineering department, which is the same building, guys. Crazy. You can't make this up. And then they're sitting there claiming, and here's another thing. Here's another kicker, right? They not only did they approve the fire pit, not only have they seen it a half a dozen or more times, but then the state of Michigan sent them, the city, a site inspection report of the wetland in my backyard where the pond's going. They sent a site inspection report April 26th. They carbon copied it to the city clerk, and that's one of the exhibits, right? And you're just like, wow, these people really have no shame, right? I mean, they have no shame. They have no shame. They're willing to go to any length humanly possible to persecute somebody, to exile somebody from their community, from their house. And it's like, man, okay. Well, I live in America still, last time I checked, and America has laws that supersede your bullshit local ordinances. And so the state of Michigan does as well. So I'm like, well, I think it's time that that you guys pay for this shit, because obviously you guys are going to continue to do it. You're not going to stop. I mean, that's why you did it 4 times, because you just, I mean, literally act like you own my property, like it's yours, like you can just come in anytime you want and check on it and shit. Yeah, I mean, it feels like North Korea, right? Exactly. I mean, the United States of North Korea. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you go 1 zip code over in Romulus and they couldn't care less what you do. And, they're, not to say Romulus is perfect, but, they don't, I don't think they put people in jail for 32, 33 days over bonfires. I don't believe they do. Could be wrong, but I just don't think they do. So it's interesting stuff. I got to say, it's very interesting stuff. It's one thing, right? Like, I was just thinking about this the other day. It's like, it's one thing to be charged like falsely, right? Like, it's one thing to like, hey, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Maybe you're out in public somewhere and somebody did something. They kind of look like you were in the area and you get falsely accused of a real crime, right? Like, that's horrible, right? Like, that's bad, right? Like that, but you can kind of rationalize it some ways, because you can be like, okay, I kind of look like the guy and it was just a coincidence. And, there's something that your brain, you can, rationalize in your brain, like, okay, it happens, right? It was a freak thing. It happens, right? And that's still a horrible situation to be falsely accused of a crime, but it's like, you can make sense of it, right? Like, but in my particular case, I was falsely accused of a fake crime, a crime that doesn't exist. So, I'm being told that I'm violating an ordinance that doesn't even exist, or it's been repealed and it doesn't exist. I mean, both, right? It's repealed and it doesn't exist. It's phantom, right? It's a phantom ordinance. And I'm sitting in jail because of a phantom ordinance. I mean, that to me is basically like, like, that's how I felt like the entire time I was there. It was like, I just felt like I was kidnapped, right? Because that's essentially what I was falsely imprisoned. I was just kidnapped, not even for a valid reason. I was just kidnapped. Like, there's no, I'm being accused of interfering with the enforcement of a law that doesn't exist, right? Like, it's hard to, wrap your mind around that. It's really hard to wrap your mind around that. Well, yeah, I mean, that's another thing, Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing, same concept. I'm just disgusted with this country that you can be falsely accused of a crime, right? Of a fake crime. And you have to go through this long, drawn out process to somehow try to prove your innocence, right? Instead of like, oh, hey, look, it's obvious that this is, like, there was no probable cause, right? There's no probable cause. For May 19th, there was no probable cause. There was no probable cause for March 28th of 2024, right? And they just, like, they own my property. Like, it's theirs, I pay the fucking mortgage on it. I do all the maintenance on it, but it's theirs, right? And no, it's just not the case. So judge ordered cops fired. Yeah, it's wishful thinking. In this system, right? There needs to be a civilian. There has to be an oversight where it's not lawyers or judges. It's just regular people. It's just, you pick a taxpayer and you go, yup, you're on this committee. And, that would solve a lot of this shenanigans. But, yeah, I think it's just more people need to sue. That's the biggest thing. If everybody sued, oh, he did do that. Okay. Yeah, the judge. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know they had the power to do that, but, they seem to have the power to do anything they want. So it'd be nice if they'd actually use it for good, right? Like in that particular case, because it's just, it's just undermining the public's confidence, man. You know, people, the public just, I mean, jurors, the public in general just can't stand the justice system. They can't stand the police because they realize, they see the hypocrisy in it. Everything is everything's front and center now. Yeah, that's good. Your grandma sued him. Yeah, that's what needs to happen. Every single time. Every time the police do anything questionable. I wish there was a system in place that anytime there was an arrest, there's like lawyers. You know how they have like public defenders? They need to have lawyers that just like, hey, you know, you were arrested. We're going to review everything. We're going to make sure that nothing was improper. If there was, we're going to sue them. Like automatically, they get sued for any arrest that they. I mean, I don't know. People say, well, that's extreme. Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, governor of Tennessee. Yeah, I mean that's, you know, they want to have that uncontrollable power, man. I mean it's a high, guys. You gotta understand it's a drug, right? You know, these people are too chicken shit and pussy to go, you know, smoke crack for their, you know. I'm not saying to smoke crack, but I'm saying like, you know, they're too pussy to do drugs, or you know, the drugs don't even work on them because they're so evil or something. So then they're like, oh, well, I'll just become a politician or a cop, right? And then now it's just like, it's like this big power thing, right? I mean, that's got to be, like I said, the rush of that, to just be able to like ruin somebody's day, right? To just be able to like ruin somebody's life. Power does what it wants. Well, yeah, you just wake up. It's capricious. Power is capricious, right? It's all whimsical, right? Like it's on a whim, right? Like if you have that type of power and it's unchecked, unchallenged, I mean, you just do shit on a whim, right? Like you just go, yeah, you know, this guy fucked with me, so I'm gonna ruin his life, you know, because you have that power, right? I mean, it's got to be very addicting, right? And you know, conveniently, I've never really been how do I say, projected, right, to be into a leadership position, right? And the reason that is because, well, leaders, good leaders, right, they see things before, right? They see things before other people. And so like the things that I do, it offends a lot of people because they don't, it doesn't make sense to them, right? We're not thinking is unchallenged. Oh, thank you. I know. But yeah, like I don't even know. Oh, being in a position of power, I mean, it really it's got to be addicting, man. And I've never chased power, you know, like and I'm not you know, because I don't go along to get along, right? Like I do my own thing, and I just don't, you know, people get offended by me because I'm seeing things that they're not seeing, and you know, I'm like, no, I don't think it's like the city of Wayne, right? You know, people got offended by that, you know, because, well, you want to abolish property taxes? Well, that's crazy. That's absurd. That's radical. And it's like, no, what's radical is to continue to fund this corrupt shit system that's not serving you. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. But, you know, that's radical, right? You know, the fact that we've gotten to this point and you're talking about, oh, well, they're only going to increase my taxes a few more percent. And it's like, dude, what are you smoking, bro? Like, you know, you don't have to pay them at all, right? Like they're not serving you, right? They're there to pay for all these bums and parasites to have pensions. And, you know, what are you getting out of it? Your roads are still shit, you know? Well, I mean, regardless, I mean, I live up north, right? I mean, it's like the roads still suck, and we have a dispensary on every corner. That was the lie that we were sold, right? Oh, if you just allow all these pot shops to go up, the roads in the schools are gonna be immaculate. Well, the roads are dog shit, and the schools are worse than they've ever been. And you're like, huh? Okay, so all this money coming in, but yet no results whatsoever to speak of. And it's like it's back to power, right? It's that power, right? You're hitting that crack pipe, right? You know, it's like that's what it's like the power of the crack the the power pipe, right? They're hitting that power pipe and they're just like, you know, like a vape, right? They're just chiefing on it. And yeah, I mean it clearly is a drug. I mean it's like, you know, and then when you try to take away that power from them, they go through withdrawals, right? The withdrawals where they violate your rights and beat your ass and, you know, throw you in a cage and, you know, that's the withdrawal, right? When you tell them no, right? Just like when you tell a crackhead, when you take his pipe away from him, you know, and you say, hey, buddy, I'm going to take that pipe from you, you know, no more for you, right? And they just can't handle it, right? You know, and so some of them sometimes they lash out, right? You know, like I used to work as a security guard, right? And I would occasionally I would catch people that were smoking crack, right, or doing like hitting the pipe, right? So I don't know if they were smoking fentanyl. I don't know what the fuck. Some of it heroin, but I think it was crack. At least one of them there was for sure. It was a crack pipe, and ask me how I know, guys. Just please, it's horrific. So I just like saw this dude smoking crack in the bathroom, and I'm like, hey, buddy, you got two choices here, right? Like, I'm about to close up, and I want to go home. I don't want to call the fucking cops. Fuck the cops, right? And so I'm like, you know, you can give me this, you can give me the drugs, you can give me the pipe, and you can walk out of here a free man. Or I call the police and show him the camera footage, not in the bathroom, but of him walking in the bathroom and, you know, coming out of the bathroom. So yeah, I told him. I just gave him kind of a, you know, I guess in that situation I had power, but I didn't want to, you know, I'm not trying to take advantage of people, right? So I was just like, hey, dude, do yourself a favor, do me a favor, and just give me the crack pipe. And that guy went ballistic, man. That guy went insane when I tried to take that crack pipe out of his hand. I was just like, hey, dude, you know, he thought like I don't know if he thought I was gonna steal it and use it for myself, but I was just like, no, dude, I just wanna, you know, I just wanna help you out, dude. You don't need this shit, and I don't need this shit, and I don't want to call the police, and I fuck the police, right? Like, and so yeah, I just was surprised by, you know, like I knew he'd be upset, you know, who wouldn't be, but yeah, I was surprised that he lashed out to such a extreme nature. I was surprised then. I have many good security stories that were just bizarre, man. Some of the places I used to work at were just fucking wild, man. But yeah, it's not I don't know. It was like the best job I ever had, but it was the worst job I ever had at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, you know, it's a tough economy out there. We got to drink Sam's Cola. You know, we used to drink Coca-Cola, and then we had to start drinking Fago, right? And then Fago went up in price. So now we're at the Sam's Cola. Anyone going to the auditor Palooza? No, when is that? What day is that? Let me look into that. I need to go there. Yeah, we need auditors. Like that needs to be like a pay. I don't know. It needs to be a paid position. Like it should be public. It should be on the public tax dollar. You know, you should be able to have like an auditor office. People that get paid to just go around and audit. You know, all day. October in Florida. Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. I. What part of Florida? Tell me more or send me some information. I'm sure my wife would want to go if I can go. Right. That's big if, right? So we'll see. We'll see. I expect good things to come to be, so we'll see. Hopefully. God willing, man. God willing. How Nike shoes are made in factory. Oh God, I don't want to see a sweatshop. That'd make me depressed. Pensacola, I believe. Get a hold of John. Yeah, okay. I appreciate the info. I will do that. Thank you very much. I need to get around some friendlier people, man. People that get it, right? People that aren't just licking the boot, man, sucking the boot. Just, because there's a lot. I mean, there isn't that many bootlickers in the country, but there are millions. I mean, there's definitely probably 10 to 30% of the population. We'll just call it 20% are just hardcore bootlickers. That just, I mean, that leather, man, they can't get enough of that taste of that leather. But I'd say about 80%, 70, at least half. I'd say at least half of people, from my experience, get it, right? Like, they get it. They understand it. But there's still a good, I don't know, 20, 30% of people that need convincing, right? They're kind of on the fence about it. Like, I think most people lean not bootlicker. I think 80% of people are, like, generally not bootlicker. But there's a good... There's a percentage of that 80%. I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's 10, 20, 30%, but there's people that need convincing, man. I think bootlickers like bungholios. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's like to me, a bootlicker is like back in the day, right? When like, okay, like when I was like growing up, right? We used to like, people used to say like, not in like a demeaning way, but like quit being a fag, right? Quit being a bootlicker. Well, I mean, bootlicker didn't come around till later, but we used to call people we used to call people fag, quit being a fag. But that's how I feel like the bootlickers are now, right? Like they're people that are annoying, people that are like, it's got nothing to do with like your orientation, right? But like just a fag, something that's fag or queer, it's out of place. It's strange, right? It's unusual. And yeah, I mean, that's how I've always seen it. Was like, bootlicker is just like basically the new fag. Quit being gay, quit being annoying. Like, we had a couple, I don't know. I went to a school that was predominantly like, it was rural. And, we had like 2 Mexican kids, 2 black kids in the whole school, and a couple gay kids that were like, everybody got along. Everybody, I don't know. It was just a better time, man. It was just like people used to like, I don't know, like we used to rip on each other and talk shit about each other all day. You're fat, you're skinny, you got a pencil dick, you got a needle dick. Like we used to just like rip on each other. Like, and everybody like got along, right? Like it was weird. It was just like, I mean, things that if you went to school nowadays and said that, oh my God, dude, they'd call the fucking they'd call the U.S. Marshal on you, right? But yeah, back then it was just like we were all different. We acknowledged our differences and we kind of like made fun of each other, like, but it wasn't like in a way like we were trying to fight each other or whatever. It was just, you're different than me and you grew up, like make poor jokes, rich jokes, everything, right? Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, England, man, that's a tragedy, man. That's what America's turning into. It's not good. It's not good. England is the world, man. United States is the world. Yeah. Great empires, man, or I don't know what's happening to them. But I'm going to do my part, guys. Like I said, I'm going to fight the good fight until the bitter end, and then I'll appeal it even if I don't know. I'm just that type, right? Like I'm fighting and fighting. To the bitter end I go. Because I don't want no bungholios around me. I mean, it's cool, I guess, if you... I don't know. Is it cool if you take it in the ass? I don't know. I don't think so. I just turned 16. Yeah, my son's 3. He's 3. Mauricio. Yeah. He's a good kid, man. He don't like no bungholios. He don't like no queers. He don't like none of that shit. He don't like people touching on him and shit. And his mom. He likes his mom touching on him. He likes the ladies, but he don't like the men. It's funny. It's funny, man. He gets it, man. My son gets it, man. He just gets it. He does. And that's why that's part of the reason why I'm doing this, because it's like I gotta show him, that you gotta fight, man. Take him fishing, yeah. Definitely gonna do that. Yeah, we're still getting him used to the water. We had a pool. And that's another story. City of Wayne is on me about the pool that I didn't. There was no permit ever pulled for it, right? But I bought the house. The pool was already there. Again, they certificate of occupancy. They approved everything. Everything was good to go. But then they like to retroactively go back and say, "Oh, wait a minute," they don't like you or whatever. And then my response is this: I'm taking you guys to court. That's how that's gonna work. So I took them to court for that, and they deserve that, right? I mean, the first of many constitutional violations that are going to be stated for the record, and that's what it's about, right? It's about getting it on the record, because if it's not on paper, it didn't happen. That's what the Army taught me, and so yeah, take them fishing for sure. For sure need to take them fishing, though. Yep, as soon as we can, we will. But yeah, he's still getting used to the water. He can swim, a little bit now, but yeah, he's I don't know, probably give him a couple more weeks in the pool. I think he'd be good. I just, yeah, you can wear a life jacket. I mean, you got to wear a life jacket and all that, but I mean, he was struggling when we first put him in the water. He was struggling with the life jacket on. He was kind of panicking, a little bit, and as he last time he was doing pretty good. So at the end of it, he started out kind of rough, and then he got comfortable. But yeah, I want to take him fishing though. I want to go fishing. I haven't been fishing in years, and yeah, we'll get it all figured out. We'll get it all figured out. But yeah, I gotta take my wife. She's going to. She's gotta go to the doctor. My wife gotta go. Take her to the urgent clinic. Get her checked out. She's been having issues with her. Been having a lot of headaches and abdominal pain and whatnot. Those kind that zip up the back are great. Went fishing in Panama Beach. Yeah, I'm looking to get down to Florida. At least part of the year. I have some property down there that I'm looking to see about developing. It's got to clear the lot out, really. It's really all that's got to be done. And then bring a little manufactured home, probably. Probably wouldn't build one. Yeah, Port Charlotte, or not Port Charlotte. I used to have one in Port Charlotte. No, I got one in Putnam. I got 4 properties in Putnam County. They're just vacant land, though. Just vacant land. And I got one over in Mims, Florida. A little piece of vacant land there. Not worth a whole lot. A little 1/4 acre, whatever. Maybe, I think one's like a 1/2 acre, but something's better than nothing, though, right? maybe one day they'll be worth something, and or I can build on one of them and have it be my vacation home. Have a little spot up north in northern Michigan, a little cabin up north, and then have a little property down in Florida. Yeah. Yeah. North Florida, like, kind of away from the coast a little bit. I had one in Port Charlotte that got hit, and I ended up selling it. And then I had one in Northport that I ended up selling too. Just because the taxes were too high. Taxes were way too high up there. Or down there, I should say. Yeah, Port Charlotte, the taxes were really high. I mean, I just had a like quarter-acre piece of land, and they were hitting me for like $700 a year on it. It wasn't cleared, nothing, just. And then I go to like Putnam County, a piece of vacant land, you're paying like $20-$30 a year. So it's quite a bit different, 20 or $30 to set on a piece of land versus $700 a year. It's quite a bit different. So plus I think, Putnam County, the zoning's a lot more lax, and you can kind of do what you want, and yeah, that's more important to me than being on the ocean. I mean, I'd like to be on the ocean in the right place, definitely, but I'm not there yet. But one day that's the goal. Have a little property and on the ocean, but I'm kind of cool being up inland, by a lake. I'm kind of cool with that. I'm kind of cool with being up by the lake anyway. So Interlation, it's a nice little area. I mean, it's very you get everything there. I mean, it's definitely hillbilly, but yeah, there's lakes everywhere around there and stuff, and seems like a place that I want to be. I'd rather be down there than up here, but I'll make the best of it up here. I mean, up here is my home, but definitely want to have places to go to get away, no doubt. Yeah, me and the Sam's Cola. Me and the Sam's Cola. It's actually not bad. I mean, I don't know. I was drinking the Fago, and then that shit started getting expensive, and then Pepsi, I just can't do. I just can't do the Pepsi. Never could. I mean, I'll drink it if I have to, but yeah, I'm not big on it. No, I've always just been a Coca-Cola guy. I like the Fago colas, all right. But now I'm just kind of like giving up soda, So I've been like, yeah, let me just drink the cheapy, because I mean it's all getting so expensive, man. It's all getting so crazy expensive that now the Sam's Cola, that's like what the Coca-Cola used to cost. So I've been drinking them a little bit, trying to wean myself off. It's all right. Hits the spot. Sugar is sugar, but yeah, I'm just digressing now. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point, but no, I appreciate yeah, water's the way to go. Definitely. Yeah, anything that's non-sugar, is the way to go. But yeah, just water, honestly, is you don't gotta make it complicated. You just gotta make sure you have a good water source. That was the first thing I did when I moved to Wayne, because the water quality was horrible. So much chlorine that they pump in the water supply to make to sterilize it, right? Let's say, and it's like drinking pool water, right? So I went ahead and got one of these carbon filters, like a whole house filter, and that was good. That was a good investment. Yuck, yuck, what? Yuck, yuck. Um, you saying yuck to the filter? No, it was a good filter. Not like I don't know. It's like activated carbon or something. But it's the silkiest water. Oh yeah, city water. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, city water is disgusting. I mean, that was the first thing I did when I bought my house, is I had to put in like a basically a better than reverse osmosis, but just like I had to have a filter, like a professional one. Like that was the first thing I did, was I called up a water purification company, and I didn't need the water softener. Um, thank God, because that would have been another, $3 grand or whatever. But yeah, I got the filter. The filter was well worth it. Filter was well worth it. Every faucet in the house has just pure, I mean, nothing. It's like distilled water. But yeah, I want to do like a rain catching system at some point. Maybe a small one, just to catch a little bit of rainwater, just for drinking or for using for plants or something. But I don't know, dude. I don't know if you'd even want to do that around here. There's so much pollution. I don't know if you'd want to. Yeah, well water is the way to go for sure. Yeah, it's the way to go. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go. Say hello to the kitty. I'm in the West Virginian hillbilly Montucky trailer. It served us well throughout our lives, but yeah, we're trying to build something over here. Build a nice new, put a nice little manufactured home here or something. This trailer's had its use. But that's Mama Kitty. That's Frankie. It's Mama Kitty right there. Mama Kitty. Mama Frankie. Say hi, Mama Kitty. She's being shy today. She's usually talking. And chattering. She's a good girl. Oh, there she is. What's up, baby? What's up, babies? But yeah, we'll talk to you guys. I appreciate the support. Appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully none of this little rant here gets me incarcerated. I don't know what I could have said, but they make shit up, man. They just make shit up. They like to paint a picture. They like to narrate a story, and that's their whole entire agenda, is to try to get you hemmed up. Try to get you hemmed up on a charge and on some bullshit, and lock you in a cage, 23-hour solitary confinement, 24-hour solitary confinement some days. Yeah, that's their whole end game, I guess, is to just ruin everything, right? Ruin your entire existence. I mean, it's fucked up, man. Over nothing, man. For having an opinion, basically. Essentially. Having the wrong opinion. Oh, yes. Be careful. Always film government. You goddamn right. You can say that again. You can say that again, my friend. Have a great weekend. Yeah, you guys too. You guys take care, man. Talk to you soon.